The anticipation is here. Here we go. I don't even know what that is, Deanna. Good to see you.
Either. You too.
Hey, how about that? Little National Championship High Five Day.
It is. It's 1 year, 2 years. How many years?
2 years? Is it?
Wow.
Is it 2 years already? Yeah, it is. 2
Wow.
years. How did that happen?
Like this.
Yeah, just bam.
Yep.
Here we go. Welcome in. Good morning, Huntsville. Thanks for joining us. I believe this morning I have the audio going. Yesterday, for the first 5 minutes, we were just sitting here chatting, having a good time, and there was no audio.
Oh.
So we were doing an improv where you, as the viewer, could read our lips and try to figure out what we were saying for the first 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
you missed
I would have
that.
done well with that, because I do read lips.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I was like 20 feet across the room one time, and I was talking smack, and you came over and slapped me.
Yeah.
If you remember that, Deanna.
I'm good at it.
Welcome in. Good morning, Huntsville. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Good Morning Huntsville. We are broadcasting live from our beautiful studio downtown here in Huntsville, right off of University Avenue. The studio is always made possible by our good friends at Elliott's Jewelers, online at elliotsjewelers.com. Appreciate Elliot Herzlich and all he does in the community. I also want to give a shout out to Paul Oley at the gallery for all of your custom framing, photography, family photos, corporate photos. Please go by and see Paul Oley here right next door to us at the gallery and let him know that I sent you. But here we are on a Tuesday. This show normally is brought to you, it still is brought to you on a Tuesday by Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense. But Jason is traveling. They have been busy with their business. And so Miss Deanna Irwin of Advantage Specialties said, you know what, I'm going to step in and be Jason today. So good to see you.
Well, maybe I need to sit back a little bit and just relax.
Yeah, Jason always does that.
Yeah.
So it is good. Jason, if you're out there, we love you, man. Hope this travels are going safe. But Guardian Defense is our Tuesday Foundation 5 sponsor. We wouldn't be able to bring you this show without our Foundation 5 sponsors, and so a big thank you to Guardian Defense. He'll take good care of you. And Deanna, have you went through any of his classes or anything at Guardian Defense?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. We do his T-shirts and stuff out at the shop, but and I've met him, great guy. But no, I haven't been to any classes.
We'll have to get you out there sometime.
Yeah.
He has LTC classes. He'll teach you firearm safety. Beautiful shooting range, gun range as well. And you can find out more information online at guardiandefensellc.com. When it comes to protecting your family and being safe, Jason is the guy here in town that's the expert on protecting your families and taking care of yourself. And he's one guy that when I'm around, I'm always aware of my surroundings now because of Jason. Although I did forget, though. I forgot to close the garage door the other day when I left. And so I wasn't aware of my surroundings because I left the garage door open.
That'd be scary a little bit.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yeah.
So anyways, Jason, I've dropped the ball one time, but I am learning. And every day, though, I really do. I'm very aware of what's going on around me because I think of Jason and the things that he's taught me. So again, please check him out online, guardiandefensellc.com. And Jason is the reason of one of many that we're able to bring you this show every single morning. A lot of folks already chiming in this morning. Grace Wakefield. I love that. Grace Wakefield waking up with us this morning. Good morning, Grace. Good to hear from you. Hey, and your friend, I think. Is this Shannon Ware? Is that a friend of yours?
She is a friend. She actually helped me on my foundation with all of my scholarships.
There's Shannon. Good morning, little sunshine emoji coming in this morning. And also, Ms. Tara Sykes is joining us this morning saying good morning, so welcome in as well. And then also Caitlin chiming in saying good morning. So a lot of folks already, I love when you're here. I told you when you came in, we should just turn off all the lights because you already bring so much light, Deanna, that we didn't even need you this morning as far as the lights.
Yeah, I told you you don't have to butter me up. I'm already here.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. I always, always throw in a little extra whenever Deanna comes in here. So it's good to have her. And check this out. Also, our good friend, Miss Stephanie Pitts, joining us saying, good morning, peeps. Looking good this morning.
Yep. She let me off to come join you.
That's right. And she said, as long as you talk about Advantage Specialties for 30 seconds, you can get,
Right.
Can you get the rest of the day off?
Ooh, maybe if I talk for a whole minute, I can have the whole day.
Yeah, Stephanie, what about that? So Deanna and I want to go check out Cafe Texan after this, so we'll see you here in a few hours.
See ya.
Just kidding. So good morning, everyone. Welcome in. We got a great show today. Our good friend Jack Durish is going to be joining us from our local VFW Post here, talking about their Buddy Poppy program and more about the VFW. Just so many things going on in the community. Shot in the Dark is coming up on Friday.
Yes, it is.
So,
that's a fun event. I worked it last year.
Are you doing it this year?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm going to let... Well, Melissa was going to go do it, but she's out of town. But, yeah, it's a great event. It's a lot of fun. The helicopter and the balls falling out, that was fun last year to watch Stephanie, who was not really thrilled about the idea. She did. I don't think she realized she had to go up in the helicopter at the Chamber of board.
Was she in the helicopter? Oh, man.
Yeah, she got up in the helicopter and dropped the balls last year. So it was really exciting to watch that whole process in the balls.
Oh, that's great. I want to do, and we'll talk to Laura, by the way. I had a chance to interview her yesterday, and so we're going to pretend that she's here this morning when I play that interview. But Laura Green will be joining us, and so we'll talk more about that event that is coming up as well. So a great show lined up today. I'm not just saying that because we're on right now, but it is always a lot of fun. And as you wake up with us, let us know what you're thankful for this morning. That's what this show is all about. Every morning, waking up, letting us know just that attitude of gratitude that I talk about every single episode. I met with a local church pastor yesterday and also Dr. Alvin Jones. I mean, he is the Huntsville treasure here in this community. Love Dr. Jones. And so we're actually working on another segment that's going to be a part of this show, hopefully on Mondays. Kind of a little inspirational minute and a half or so whenever we get things going on Mondays. Kind of get you going, a little Monday motivation.
Everybody needs motivation on Monday.
That's right. So we've got a lot in the works. We're also going to be finally putting out our newsletter here this morning. We're going to start doing those on Tuesday mornings. We have over 100 subscribers. I wanted to wait until we hit 100, and now we're over that threshold. So we're going to start putting out that newsletter here on Hello Huntsville. Again, just keeping you up to date with all the great things and all the good people here in Huntsville. It is. I don't know if this is going to work. You should never test stuff in a production environment like once you go live. But it is National Championship Celebration Day. And I've got a little something for you to take you back 2 years ago. Enjoy this as we'll play a little video for you here this morning on Good Morning.
Passing over to the left side. Schmid will run. Schmid eludes one defender. He takes off to the 30, dives his way. He's short of the first down, but he almost got there, Brian. It's 4th down and a short one.
Well, we know what the answer is. We got players down on the far sidelines. It looks like 2 South Dakota players are down.
Boy, and Schmid took off to the races. He was trying with everything he had in him, Brian, to get that first down. He is 1 yard short. And the season may come down to this one play for the Bearcats. They have got to convert with 2:58 remaining in the ball game. Here it is for the Bearcats. Ife Adeyi to the left. Harvin down to the right. I don't see Jaquez Ezard out there.
He is on the sideline.
Schmid in the gun. Ramon Jefferson to his left. 4th down and 1. Isaac Schley, the tight end to the left. Look for the run to the left. Handoff. He's got the first down. It is Eric Schmid has the first down to the left side across the 20. A well-designed quarterback keeper play. Fake the handoff to Jefferson, and the Bearcats convert the critical 4th down.
Nice play by Eric Schmid. He looks like he's handing the ball off to Jefferson. He kind of rides it in his stomach, pulls it out at the last minute, takes it around the end. Huge play, Bearcats.
The season, the championship comes down to this critical play for Sam Houston. 4th down and 3 from the Jackrabbit 15. 38 seconds remaining. Schmid in the gun, trips to the left. Adeyi to the right. He's not double teamed. I would expect him to be. Noah Smith in there now as the back. Schmid looking, throws. Adeyi has the catch. Oh, baby, Adeyi's got the first down. How about that for the Bearcats? It was an absolute dart thrown to Ife Adeyi.
Wow, man, he was on the ground when he caught that football. Got to punch it in.
Jaquez Showtime Ezard to the right. 2 receivers up there to the left. Noah Smith will come in for Ramon Jefferson. Jaquez Ezard will rotate over to the left side to join Chandler Harvin. 3rd down and goal from the 10. 21 seconds to go for the Cats. Schmid in the gun, stands on the 15. Stepping back, Schmid looking over center. It's caught! It's a touchdown! It's a touchdown! It's a touchdown to Ife Adeyi! The Bearcats take the lead with 16 seconds to go! Oh, Bubba, what a play!
Unbelievable! Now the Bearcat faithful are going crazy! What a pass and what a catch!
Oh
my goodness! The Bearcat fans are going nuts!
Oh, mama, what a play to Ife Adeyi, hands of glue. 5 seconds remaining. Bearcats defense, it's going to come down to them. 23-21, Sam Houston leading, 1st and 10. for the Jackrabbits. They've got it on the Bearcat 47-yard line. One timeout remaining. Heidi in the gun, trips to the right. One receiver down to the left. This is it. Heidi claps for it, steps back, looking, throwing, has a man. 1 second remaining. Bearcats trying to look for something here. The runner will go down, and the Bearcats are victorious. The Bearcats win. For the first time in program history, the Sam Houston Bearcats are FCS champions. Sound the Blatchley Bell back in Bearcat Plaza, baby.
How about them Bearcats? Oh boy, the place is going nuts. Oh my goodness. National champion, your Bearcats.
And there it is, a little Bearcat reminiscence this morning. Is that it? Reminiscence? Reminiscence? I don't even know.
We'll make it. We've made a lot of new words today, so we'll add that to the pile.
We make up words. We wanted to play that for you this morning, and boy, it was just a privilege to be in that broadcast booth for a few years. And I got to tell you, what an awesome day 2 years ago up there in North Huntsville, or Frisco, Texas, a.k.a. North Huntsville,
Right.
as Sam Houston State winning their first ever FCS national championship. It was their second national championship in program history, but the first at the FCS level. And then, of course, would go on the next year and continued to win, but then lost a tough series there in the playoffs, and now moving on to the FBS. But, man, what a day. Were you up in Frisco for that?
I was not. I was stuck here in Huntsville, Texas. Yeah.
Were you working?
Um,
Stephanie said you can't take off the rest of the day,
If I was supposed to be at work, yes, I was at work.
Man, but a great time, and again, appreciate, just a privilege to be up there with Brian Adams then, and just to relive that moment, and what a moment it was for the hard work of those students. It wasn't about us calling the game. It was about the hard work of those students, everything that they had to go through, and I hate to bring up the word COVID, but it was a tough year because we played in the spring. There were some friends that are saying, well, there should be an asterisk next to that. Yeah, there should be. And you know why? Because it was the toughest season in college football history. That's what the asterisk represents. Those kids were having to carry their own pads. Their locker room was being renovated. There were so many things going on at once. And then on top of all that, having to fight through COVID and figure out how are we going to play these games, how are we not. It was unbelievable, that run, and Coach Keeler did an amazing job with his staff there putting that together, and Bobby Williams, and from all those folks from the top down, Jason Barfield, Ben Reichert, who was there at the time. It was just fun to be up in that booth with Brian, and just for him being, a former Bearcat quarterback, to be there and to live that moment.
Right.
So it was, seeing a grown
I
man
know
cry.
him first as a Hornet quarterback. Me and Brian, went to high school together. So, yeah, it's really exciting to see him in there as well, because to know him for so long, and that had to be like a dream come true to be there at that moment. It was just an exciting moment to watch all of y'all.
Yeah, it was fun. So, we do have our friend Jack Durish here joining us here in just a few moments. We wanted to play that just to kind of segue in this morning, because it is we're thinking about the national championship today, 2 years later. But we do want to bring on Jack here in just a few moments. For now, though, we're going to step aside. We're going to take a break. While we're in that break, let us know where you were at 2 years ago. Were you in Frisco? Were you watching that game? Let us know where you were at. And also make sure to let us know what you're thankful for this morning as we continue to highlight all the good happening here in our community. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. A lot more to go here on this edition of Good Morning Huntsville. It's episode 26. We'll be right back after this. Hey, good morning, Huntsville. Welcome back in as we are live here on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville, episode 26. And we had a little bit of an extended break there as we were getting things set up for our good friend, Mr. Jack Durish, joining us today. Post commander coming up here of VFW 5871.
You got it right.
I did. You know, I was thinking, and my dad was post commander, and you and I were talking about this, I believe, at the chamber breakfast here recently. And man, just appreciate you being out in the community and being involved, Jack. And first and foremost, thank you for your service to our country, my friend. It's good to have you on today.
Thank you.
So a lot going on. Before we dig into the VFW, I wanted to just kind of get a little background on you, if you don't mind. Just how did you get to Huntsville, and just talk about that journey.
It's funny, when my wife and I moved here, we moved from California, and especially the young people, every one of them would ask, why Huntsville? And my wife would look up and say, why not? We had just, we had sat down and we knew we had to get out of California. And we looked at states, and we finally settled on Texas. And all the realtors kept on showing us places around suburbs of Dallas, and it's like, why would I want to move there? So she found this place in Huntsville, and she said, this is gorgeous. This is where I want to be. And I said, that's small town America. And you've born and raised and lived in Los Angeles. This is going to be really different. Are you sure? She got here and she went native. That's where I could never listen to country music, and now that's all she allows me to play. She went into Tractor Supply, and she came out and she said, my God, they have the most beautiful little clothes, and their cutest clothes, and they got chicks and ducklings. And I swear the woman that came out looked like my wife, sounded like my wife, but I don't think it was my wife. So she definitely went native. Me, I grew up in small towns, and many places I lived later in life, I was in small towns. So to me, it's like coming home.
And how long has it been now, Jack, that you guys have been here in Huntsville?
2.5 years.
And to you, is it Huntsville or is it Huntsville?
Oh, for me, it's Huntsville. She used to laugh at me. If I would talk on the phone to somebody from the South, I'd drop right back into it. Are you making fun of them? No, what am I doing? So, yeah, I grew up in Maryland, and I know a lot of people don't realize, but that is the South.
There you go. Yeah, I've learned, and again, Jack Durish joining us here this morning. He is the post commander, VFW 5871 here in Huntsville, Texas. I've learned, being here for 4 years, that you and I haven't had a chance to talk, in depth, but I went away for 8 months. I called an 8-month paid vacation, and I came back. And when I came back, before it was Huntsville, and now as I'm starting to settle in, it's turning into Huntsville now. Deanna, is that the right way to say it? Is it Huntsville or Huntsville?
Huntsville.
Okay, yeah. See, Deanna knows. She's been here forever, so it just natural to her. To us newbies, we're still trying to learn a little bit. So,
yep.
Well,
I
Jack,
didn't know there was a difference till you brought it up.
There it is. Yeah, you'll hear it two different ways. So, and for our viewers out there, what is it to you? I always ask this. Nobody ever chimes in. What is it to you? Is it Ville or Volt? So
Yeah.
we'll figure that out as the day goes on, Jack. That is the $1 million question today.
When I start saying zinc and Washington and wash the clothes and eat a squash or squash the bug, then I'm really back into it.
There you go. Well, again, Jack joining us here. He is the post commander of VFW 5871. As I alluded to earlier, my father was a commander there in Georgetown, Texas, so very familiar with the VFW.
Yeah.
But it's just an incredible organization. Tell us a little bit more for those that are just joining this morning that may have heard of the VFW but not 100% aware of what it is. Talk a little bit about what the VFW is, Jack.
The VFW is a fraternal organization of veterans who have served in foreign wars. We're like the American Legion, except I do belong to the American Legion here in Huntsville. Is that
You
it?
got it right.
You got me thinking about it now. It's like we just get somebody bowling. Which foot do you start on? Okay. No, but we have gone in harm's way. Men and women who have served in wars. We're the oldest of the fraternal organizations, dating back. It actually. First members were from the Spanish-American War. But it doesn't matter. We serve all veterans as long as they served honorably. If somebody shows up at our post with a problem, They have a DD 214, which is a summary of their service, and it says character of service is honorable. We're going to help them, and that could be financial help. And we also help active duty personnel. Somebody is on active duty and they have an emergency leave. They have to get an airplane, get home. They don't have the money. They weren't prepared for it. We'll buy them an airplane ticket. You know, we're there to serve veterans.
You know, every post is usually has a namesake, and I believe 5871 is for Melvin White, if I'm not mistaken. Can you give us a little background on Melvin White?
No, I can't. And it's really upsetting me because I'm also the webmaster for our Post website. And one thing that website is definitely lacking is an explanation of who is Melvin White.
Gotcha.
And everybody keeps promising me, I got lots of information. I'll get it to you. 2 years now, I have not seen one piece of information. He generally posts are named after the founding member.
Yes, sir.
There is one member who takes the lead. You'll have several members who are founding members. Now, of course, this post is, I believe, about 77 years old. Wow. So not many of the founding members are going to still be alive. But, and I'm pretty sure he isn't. So otherwise I'd go find him and ask him myself.
Right.
Sure. Well, we're posting the link here, by the way, for the VFW Post. Again, Jack Durish is joining us here this morning. You can check out their website at vfw5871.org. Jack, the VFW does so much in the communities, you know, and we see them, of course, at the national level as well. VFW is, I see almost posts in every community, just like, as you had mentioned earlier, other organizations, but the VFW very active in the communities that they're involved in.
We try to be active. The post I came from in California was extremely active. We were near Camp Pendleton, and we were, you know, you have young Marines down there, and they get a $20 allowance, and then suddenly they're getting $1,200, $1,300 a month, and wow, they're rich. They buy a nice car, they get married, they get deployed, and now there's some young woman with a child or two hanging on them, and they're crying to us, Can you help? And when we found out they were reusing disposable diapers,
oh my goodness, yeah,
that we knew we had to do something. So the last year I was there, we took 18,000 disposable diapers. We were taking furniture, we were taking truckloads of food, everything we could do to help those young families. This is in addition to helping out at hospitals, retirement homes for veterans and so on. And so we're always out there working, and that means we're spending a lot of time raising funds to do all these things. So it's a lot of work. I'm supposed to be retired, and I never worked so hard in my life.
That's what happens, you know. And too, I've learned once you get into Huntsville too, you're going to be pretty active. Deanna, you're a testament of that. You know, this community embraces everyone, and everybody gets busy and gets their hands dirty.
Yeah.
Well, the wonderful thing here is, and my wife still can't get over this, is the difference in people. We know all our neighbors here. Every one of them. They've come over to introduce themselves, which, incidentally speaking, football, the head coach, we're on the corner lot. The head coach of the Huntsville high school team lives across the street, and across the other street is the head coach of the New Waverly football team. So we're surrounded by it. But, you know, in my neighborhood, our neighborhood in California, we didn't know half our neighbors, and half of those we knew you didn't want to know.
Right.
It's just a whole different attitude. And of course, my wife is, I've never been yes ma'am so much in my life.
That was funny that you mentioned that, because when I had went up, you know, and into a different area for 8 months, nice people, but it's neat to go out, and we mentioned this on the show yesterday. It's kind of neat to experience different cultures within the United States. And it was not polite to say yes sir and no sir in that area.
No.
And I had to learn quickly to not say that.
Let me tell you, somebody passes us and they wave, and I wave, and my wife says, "Who was that?" I don't know. We wave.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so different here.
But it's good people, and Jack, and
we love it here.
It's folks such as yourself, coming into the community and immediately getting involved. And the work that you're doing with the local VFW Post here in Huntsville is amazing. You were at every chamber breakfast. I've seen you there. That's how I got to know you, just seeing you at the chamber breakfast. Right. You're being active in the community because you want to really work hard and promote the good work that the VFW is doing here in Huntsville.
Yeah, we were very fortunate where I was in Dana Point, California, that we had a very close relationship with that community. And I would like to foster even more of that here. I'm going to start attending council meetings, every one of them. It's the same as going to the chamber meetings. We need to integrate with the community, and you cannot integrate if you set yourself apart. So you'll see me there too.
Absolutely. Well, again, Jack Durish is joining us here from VFW Post 5871. Jack, we're going to step aside for just a moment, take a brief break, and when we come back, I want to talk more with you about the Buddy Poppy program and some other things happening with the VFW.
Okay.
So we'll step aside, we'll take a break. If you have questions for Jack, feel free to send those in as well. We'll be back in a moment as we continue here on Good Morning Huntsville. Welcome back at it here on Good Morning Huntsville. Thanks for joining us. Another great episode here, episode 26, as we're moving right along, already halfway through the month of May. We are broadcasting downtown, our beautiful square here in our studio that is made possible by our good friends at Elliott's Jewelers. Always have his coffee mug here. And you know what, Dan? I need to start filling that thing up with coffee. I got the coffee pot over there.
I see that over there.
I'm not a big coffee drinker, though.
I'm not either.
So, but I'm learning little by little. So I want to welcome you in. Thanks for joining us this morning. Also, before we start bringing Jack back on, I do want to remind you, we give away prizes every single episode, and we do have a $25 gift certificate to the Color Bar. This is a great opportunity for you. If you're out there watching, you said, you know what, I get my hair done there anyways, or maybe you don't, and you've been wanting to check them out, $25 gift cards to the Color Bar. That'll take a good chunk of change off of getting your hair done, and please go by and support our local businesses. But hey, we're giving these away, and all you have to do this morning is just put a hashtag. Put Good Morning Huntsville, visit Huntsville TX, whatever you want to put on a hashtag. Comment that, like this broadcast, and share it. We'll be giving away these at the end of the show today. But I want to bring back on Mr. Jack Durish from VFW Post 5871. He is the post commander in transition, I believe. That's coming up soon,
yes,
right?
That is correct.
Tell us a little bit, Jack, just as the commander, as you're moving into that position, what are the duties of the commander at the VFW Post?
I should have this memorized by now. It's very specific. Basically, you conduct the meeting, make sure everything is performed according to the script, and you have to follow Robert's Rules of Order,
sure.
Motions and all that. But even more than that, you set the tone of the post, and it's like a leadership in any position. Whether it's a teacher in the classroom or a president of the United States or anything in between, the whole tone of what we do is set by that person who everybody's looking to. And I'm a working commander. I don't fall back and say, and this comes from what I learned in the Army. I was ultimately I was a captain in the Army, and I finally learned when I was a lieutenant. I was like every dumb lieutenant. you have no idea how dumb lieutenants can be. But by the time I got to be a captain, I figured out the job to give the people direction, to give them the tools they need to do the job they're supposed to do, to make sure they know how to do it the way you want it done. You know, that's one thing. You can't yell at a person for not doing something the way you want it done if you haven't shown them how to do it the way you want it done. And so that's the kind of attitude I bring to the thing is, and ultimately the one thing that I'm sad to say many officers never understood, the number one job of a commissioned officer is to be responsible. Don't pat, well, it's that guy over there. He messed up. That's why we didn't accomplish the mission. No, I'm responsible. You talk to me about it. You do not talk to them. I will yell at him if he messed up, but I am responsible. And I know a lot of guys come back with PTSD because it is a difference. Shell shock from World War I, you had to sit in a trench being hammered with artillery day and night. And shell shock, if you ever see the videos, you can see them on YouTube. The guys that can't even stand up, they're just, all their body are moving, parts are moving in different directions. PTSD is actually people who they had to kill. In World War II, World War I, Civil War, going back in history, a lot of the guys that go through the motions of firing their guns but never fired them. Mm-hmm. And whereas in Vietnam forward, we were trained differently, and most everybody was actually firing their guns. And then at some point you realize I'm killing someone. And I told everybody, if you kill someone, if you hurt someone, always remember, it's because I told you to. It's my responsibility.
Yeah.
So don't you feel responsible. I am responsible.
It's because you gave that order, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, Jack, again, appreciate you being here this morning. I know before we talk about the buddy poppies, it's something that I've known since I was a kid, just with my dad being involved with the VFW, but we're going to educate our audience on it here in a little bit. I know Deanna had a couple of questions for you as well. Deanna?
Well, I was just wondering, you were talking about how y'all provide assistance to the families, and how do y'all raise your money to do that? I can imagine what those diapers cost. So how do you do that?
Every post works, with the community, what is possible. Here, raffles seem to work pretty well. So we have a spring raffle. In the past, we had been raffling off like a barbecue grill or a smoker. This year, we're doing a generator.
Wow.
People can go see it at the Hearts Museum, the Veterans Museum, which, by the way, is where we meet on the second Thursday of every month. And that generator's up there, and they can also purchase raffle tickets. And then we also will sit out like we were at Wisniewski's Dodge grand opening this past weekend, and we sold a good number of raffle tickets there. This fall, we are going to have our grandest gun raffle ever. Normally we'll have 3 different rifles. This time we're looking at going for an AR-15, a crossbow. We're really mixing it up this fall, so everybody who looks for our gun raffle, look for it this year. And again, there will be information about all our fundraising activities on the website itself.
Yeah, and that website, again, VFW5871.org. We put it there in the comments and also on the screen. So make sure that you check that. And by the way, they do have a Facebook page, so you can search for that as well, Huntsville VFW5871. Make sure you go to that page and like that page as well. Again, Jack Durish joining us here this morning to give us some updates on our local VFW post, and we appreciate the work that you do and for your service to our country. Mr. Durish, you did bring some information about buddy poppies as well. Well, tell us about that program.
Well, the Buddy Poppy came into existence based on a poem written by a Canadian surgeon during World War I. He was knee deep in the carnage. It was a horrible war. They were using tactics from the 18th, 17th century against modern machine guns and artillery. and a lot of people were maimed. There were a lot of facial injuries in that war. I don't know if most people realize it, but plastic surgery came into existence because so many returning veterans had very severe wounds because they were in trenches. They'd stick their head up, they'd take a shot to the face, and so they'd have jaws shot away, or it's horrible maiming injuries. So he was in the middle of this, and one day a very good friend of his had been killed, and the regiment chaplain was off on another assignment, so he presided over that man's funeral. And when it was over, he sat down and penned a poem called In Flanders Field. And he felt no words could be adequate. Now, I'm a writer, and I got to tell you, you never feel that it's done. My wife would yell at me, "It's good enough, stop with it already." No, I can make that a little bit better. So he wrote this little poem, and he just crumpled up and threw it down in the ground and walked away from it. And one of his subordinate sergeants had watched what he was doing, picked it up, read it, and he sent it home. Next thing you know, it got published in Punch magazine in England, and then it went around the world. Everybody fell in love with that poem. And it was based on the poppy. Poppies are an unusual flower. They don't always grow every year. They have perennials and whatever. This thing, it's got to be just right. It wants the soil right, it wants the water right, it wants everything just right. And for some reason, churning up the earth with millions of artillery rounds and watering it with blood seemed to delight the poppies, and they flourished. They had a super bloom.
I didn't know that.
Of poppies, and they were blowing the petals all over the place. And that basically, in Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses row and row. And that's what he took it from. So people took to the poppy as a symbol of the sacrifice of those men. And it became known as Remembrance Day. It was the Armistice Day. Originally we had Armistice Day, the 11th month, the 11th day of the 11th month, the guns went silent. And so everybody celebrated Armistice Day. When World War II broke out, Armistice Day kind of lost its meaning. And so in England and the Commonwealth countries, they called it Remembrance Day, and they still call it Remembrance Day. And this is actually the kind of poppy they wear. It's actually made out of felt. I ordered this from Amazon in England.
Yeah.
Very expensive, $28 for two of them. Mostly shipping, I think.
That's that real nice felt is what it was over there,
Yeah.
Jag. So.
Yeah.
And they keep it. They'll wear these year after year after year, whereas the poppies that we hand out are very temporary. So, and of course, then if given what I've told you about the poppy, you can understand why we can't have real poppies.
Right.
They might not be in bloom this year, unless we go out and kill some people. I don't know. That's a horrible thought. Why did I say that? Right. So the VFW picked this up it was 1922 that they began just handing out poppies. We don't sell them. We give them away.
Yeah.
And we said, please wear this to remember the veterans. Now, in this country, Armistice Day became Veterans Day. So we would hand it out on that day. Now, interestingly, most holidays in America are not started by the government. They're started by the people. The government finally looks up one day and says, whoa, we should make a national holiday out of that.
Yeah.
And so it was some people in New England that started remembering the fallen of the American Civil War. And that is what ultimately became Memorial Day. So we have two holidays. In Memorial Day, we remember the fallen. In Veterans Day, we remember all veterans. So we use the buddy poppy in both of those occasions. And we just give them to people and say, please wear this in remembrance. Because if you don't, you're not going to remember.
Yeah.
You need something, it's some holidays, the Christmas tree. The tree has a function, It helps us focus the celebration. If you ever get a chance to go to a thing like a Jewish Seder, even the food they're eating, they recite the story of the Exodus from Egypt. And every bit of the food is somehow connected to the story. They actually take the matzah and they put in a fruit mixture and matzah on top. And say that the Egyptians made them build brick structures, And so the food is representing that. The kids are all going, yeah, and I get to eat it too.
So it makes it better, yeah.
So they're going to remember that. They're going to remember that story much better because of that. So the Buddy Poppy serves that purpose. It's a focus for us.
Well, again, Jack Durish joining us here. We appreciate his time, and again, appreciate your service to our country, Jack, and also for there at the VFW Post. Looking forward to more information from 5871 on the website as well. I posted that earlier, vfw5871.org. And throughout town, at some places you will see, and I'll go back to your camera angle there, you may see this display here that's in front of Jack that has the Buddy Poppies on them, and they're free. You'll see them there. And again, they're encouraging, and the VFW always does this, to encourage you to take one of these Buddy Poppies and wear it on Memorial Day to honor all who died while serving. And so we'll, if you've got a few for us here, we'll have some here in the studio as well. So you could come by here to the studio, and then you'll see it around town as well. And Jack, I think it's such a tremendous program, what the VFW continues to do and how they continue to serve the communities. Before we let you go, is there any other things you wanted to mention about the VFW? Because I do have one other part of Jack that I want to bring up.
Oh, okay. No, it's just, like I say, all veterans who are qualified on their DD-214, they have a Vietnam service medal listed there, or a Korean War service medal, or they were Gulf War, Afghanistan, any of those foreign deployments. Please come join us. It's not just work. It's also the camaraderie. We help one another on the battlefield to survive. And honestly, when I first left the Army, I had no desire to join the VFW or anything. And then one day I saw we had all the trouble with the VA, and I was like, okay, we got trouble. We got to look out for each other again. And so I joined the VFW and the American Legion, again, in that spirit of helping my buddies who needed help. And I got to tell you, I had my issues. I had a tremendous case of survivor's guilt. I could not visit the Vietnam Memorial in Washington. I did not feel worthy to be there. I survived, they didn't. And it was terrible. But now, after several years of helping veterans, I can actually go to that wall up at Hart's Veterans Museum. I can touch it. I can talk to people about it. I know people on that wall, and I can visit them. I could not do that before. But it's through the helping I've healed.
Yeah.
And that's what we can do. So come on, join us.
Yeah, if you know someone there, and VFW is a great organization, again, visit their website, vfw5871.org. Jack, there's something else besides VFW that you're involved in. I was doing a little digging, jackdurish.com, and not only are you involved with the VFW, but you're also a storyteller. Tell us about this.
Well, I've been a storyteller all my life. My mother said I was vaccinated with a phonograph needle. But of course, in those days, they called it lying, okay? But now as an adult, it's kinder. I'm just a storyteller.
Yeah, and I'm seeing your website here, and a beautiful illustration here at the beginning.
Oh, that photograph, a very good friend of mine, one of the best portrait photographers I've ever known. And he moved from California. He's down in Bernie, Texas. And other professional photographers wanted to know how he did that shot because it looks more like a painting.
It does,
than
yeah.
a photograph.
Yeah, it does.
It's absolutely
Looks
beautiful.
very Norman Rockwell-ish.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And Jack, you can go to the website, jackdurish.com. There's information there just about what you do. And then, The Last Spy is an ebook that you have and on print there on Amazon as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that book briefly?
The Last Spy is the third in the series, but it was the first one I wrote. When I was a kid, I was a sailor on the Chesapeake Bay. I grew up sailing. And I admit I excelled at it, and I was a navigator. And people really, I'd spend the summer at the Baltimore Yacht Club, and I'd just live on one of the Sea Scout boats, and people would come grab me to help them sail their boat or something. And one day, I was getting in my last year of high school, and this fellow bought a boat in Galveston, Texas, and he wanted somebody to help him sail it back up to Chesapeake Bay. And of course, they recommended me, and he says, I'll pay you $800 plus all expenses. We'll fly to Galveston, we'll get the boat, we'll go from Galveston to New Orleans, from New Orleans to Havana. This was before. I am that old. I'm 80. Let me tell you. I went from Havana across to the Keys and then up the East Coast to the Chesapeake Bay. And I was like, yeah, I'll do this in a shot. What an adventure. As it turns out, had we done it, we would have been in Havana in about November, and that would have been just prior Castro took over in January. Following that November, we would have been there. So I missed that trip because when my parents looked at, wait a minute, you're going to miss the first half of your senior year of high school, and you're a terrible student. There's no way we're letting that happen. So in my website, you'll read a story called The Reluctant Scholar, and I am the reluctant scholar. I hated school. Even though I went through college, law school, the whole thing, hated every minute of it. And then I ran away and joined the Army. I went to war to get away from the law. So, any rate, I always wanted to take that trip, and I thought, first book I'm going to write about sailing to Cuba. And it just mutated into the story, The Reluctant Spy. Or no, The Last Spy.
Well, great, yeah, I think
And then I wrote 2 prequels to it, which is the first one is The Accidental Spy, then The Reluctant Spy, then The Last Spy. And currently I'm working on researching the next book, which will be a Vietnam-based one. They're all historical fiction. The characters like Castro and Che, all their dialogue is actually taken from their speeches and their writings. So I wanted to give it that authenticity.
Well, again, you can go to the website, jackdurish.com. I put the link up there on the screen. Also, you can click on it if you're on the social media channels. Jack, such an enlightening show this morning, and appreciate you talking more about the VFW, how folks can get involved, and then also learning a little bit about you and just your passion to serve here in Huntsville. It means a lot to this community, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me.
I had a quick question. How can we get the raffle tickets?
The raffle tickets are available at the Harts Veterans Museum. You can see the generator sitting there. It's a dual fuel, electric starting, so you don't have to be out there cranking on it. And it's a very appropriate one for if you have a boat or an RV, or if you just hurricane season's coming up and the power goes out. I got to tell you, one of the first things we got was the Generac computer in our house. And the first year we had it 5 times it went into use. So, yeah, it's up there. They have the tickets. We'll be out at Brookshire Brothers. I think, I'm not sure when that date is, but you'll see us out by Brookshire Brothers.
So just look for you out and about.
Out and about. We'll be selling tickets to it. Yep.
And text me if you don't mind, Jack, or send me an email. You've got my email now. Send me an email and let me know some of the days, and we'll publish them on our website, and we'll promote it for you guys.
Appreciate that.
So, well, there he is, Mr. Jack Durish, joining us. Sir, thank you for being on today. It's been a privilege and a pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you.
You too.
Well, we'll step aside, take a break, and remember, we are giving away these gift certificates. All you got to do is put on their hashtag Hello Huntsville, And make sure to like and share this broadcast, and we'll be giving those away here at the end of the show. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a brief break. When we come back, we'll hear from Laura Green. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville. County Chamber of Commerce. Hey friends, welcome back in here on Good Morning Huntsville. Little road trip, if you will, here today. Joined with Laura Green, the Events and Communications Manager of the Huntsville-Walker County Chamber of Commerce. Laura, seems like we just talked a couple of weeks ago, and here we are again, another event. How you doing?
Busy.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Just a month ago.
Yeah, we've had you on the show live and in person, and now we're out here on a little road trip talking to you. But a big event coming up this Friday, and wanted to make sure that we talked about it. That's why we wanted to have you on this morning. It is the Shot in the Dark. This is the big annual event that's happening here and this year, sponsored by our good friends at Iron Brothers Metals. Tell us a little bit about this year's event.
It is happening on Friday, May 19th. This is the 20th annual, which is really amazing.
Does it seem like 20?
Some days yes, some days no. But yeah, it's the 20th annual. It is a nighttime golf tournament. We do play the first 9 in the daylight. We tee off at 4 p.m. They go out and play 9 holes of golf, come back for the dinner break. We do something special at the dinner break. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then they tee off around dusk for the last 9. And we use glow accessories, and we light up the course with all kinds of glow stuff and solar lights and all of that. So it's just a fun night, and it's an opportunity that most people don't get to do. I mean, you just can't play night golf very many places.
No, you can't.
Especially at Elkins. I live there, so no.
Yeah, no night golf. and for me, I live in Elkins also, as you know. For me, no day golf, because I can't even hit a golf ball very
Well,
good.
there's a lot that can.
I always make sure that I don't hit near your house, especially with that new beautiful patio that's coming in.
There's a lot of people that do hit my house.
Yeah, so that's part of the fun of living on the golf course. We call it adrenaline. If you don't live on the golf course, if you do, we call it, insurance. So there you go.
There you go.
But it's going to be a fun event, again, coming up Friday, just a couple of days from now. Is there still opportunities for people to get involved? Have you completely sold out? How is all that looking?
So there are some ways to get involved. We are sold out on teams. We do have a waiting list, so if anybody is really sad that they didn't get signed up, I still encourage them to call us, because you never know, somebody may have to cancel last minute. We will take their information and call them if something comes open. We limit it to 36 teams, which is a lot of golfers. And we are maxed out at that every year. We always do. But you can still be involved by doing the helicopter golf ball drop.
Oh, that's so much fun. Tell us about that event.
So that happens at the dinner break. Bill Fickford is our sponsor of our helicopter. We have a gentleman fly in with helicopter. He circles the driving range, and then we'll land on the driving range a little before dinner break. And we sell 600 max balls. And they're all numbered. Each one of them has 1 through 600 on there. And then if you buy a ball, we assign you a number. And then somebody from Bill Fickford will climb in the helicopter with the pilot and go up high, circle over the hole, and lean out and drop those golf balls.
Are people ducking?
No, they're all away from the hole. They're all up at the clubhouse, but they're all right there where they can see it. It's a lot of fun. They're strapped in to the helicopter too, by the way. It's still terrifying.
And how are the prizes? So obviously prizes work for those balls somehow,
yes,
correct?
So somebody will win. We actually have 3 places. We have a first place, which is $1,000. We have a second place, which is $500, and then third place is $250. You don't have to get the ball in the hole. but the closest one or the one in the bottom of the hole will obviously take first place, and then so forth. We'll have measuring tape out there if we need to.
Awesome.
But yeah, 3 people will actually take home some cash, which is always nice.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Again, Shot in the Dark happening this Friday. So you just heard Laura, there's still a chance to get involved in that awesome nighttime golf ball drop. Again, thanks to our friends at Bill Fick Ford there for making that happen. But this event, a lot of fun. I mean, you've talked about it. You said 20 years now, the 20th in the making. What has that journey been like? Just being a part of that. You've been here with the Chamber and done an awesome job for so many years, Laura. How important is this event, not just to the community, but to the Chamber?
It's a very important event for our Chamber. It is a fundraiser, obviously, for our Chamber. We do 4 big fundraisers every year, and that's to keep our membership prices down for our members. We try to do that. But this event also provides scholarships for people to attend the Huntsville Leadership Institute, which is a 9-month program. We start in September. They learn about the community. It's about networking. It's just a great program. If anybody's interested, there's some information on our website about that. But we try to set some of the funds that are raised from this event aside for scholarships, because not everybody can afford the program. A lot of nonprofits will apply sometimes, and we just want to make that affordable for everybody that is interested.
Sure. Just had Diva Night. I did want to highlight briefly, you came on and talked to us, but maybe there's somebody for the first time that says, I didn't get to see that interview. How was Diva Night for the Chamber?
Oh, it was so much fun. The ladies really showed up and showed out that night. We had a Barbie theme, and we had every kind of Barbie you can imagine. The first place winner of the costume contest was menopausal Barbie, which was great. It was funny, and then we had a limited edition come in second. That was great. We already have our theme for next year. We already have our date, so I'm not going to spoil it just yet till I can officially announce it, but it is coming on our Facebook page, our Diva Night Facebook page.
Awesome.
But it will be in April again next year at the fairgrounds. We're excited about that. But yeah, Shot in the Dark is almost here, and I would encourage everybody to think about getting a golf ball, because they're only $10 a piece.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I was going to ask how much they were.
Yeah, or you can buy 6 for $50, or even better, you can buy 13 for $100, and you don't have to be present to win. You don't even have to live in Huntsville or Walker County for that matter. Anybody can purchase a golf ball.
There you go.
It's open to anybody. It's not just for golfers. It's an opportunity for more people to get involved in the golf tournament other than just the golfers, because that's a limited number of people. So this is just an opportunity. People can come out and watch too. They just want to pull over on the side road and watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of neat.
It will be. And Jerica, that message is for you. Jerica's a friend from Fargo that for whatever reason she loves watching the show. You can buy a golf ball.
She can buy a golf ball.
So there's your little heart, your little piece and your little heart in Huntsville buying a golf ball.
And
so
that would be awesome if they won.
Yeah. Have we ever had that before? Someone that far away? What's the farthest you've ever had?
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I have no idea. A lot of the balls are purchased by the golfers, obviously, because they're there. We'll sell them that night, but we'll sell them today. I mean, you can just call the Chamber and purchase one, and we do have people do that every year.
Awesome.
So.
And that number to the Chamber?
936-295-8113.
Awesome. There you go.
We'll
Laura
be
Green.
here till noon on Friday. So if they want to purchase one, they need to do it before. Then we got to close up shop, and everybody's got to head to the course.
That's right. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you can stay up to date. Make sure to like the Huntsville Walker County Chamber of Commerce Facebook page to stay up to date with the latest information. We don't want to tease any more events, because I'll be meeting with you again probably in a few weeks, and we'll talk about
the next
thing coming up. So Laura, appreciate all that you do. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for allowing us the privilege to highlight what you guys are up to.
Absolutely. Thank you. I hope to see you on the course.
All right, we'll be there. This will wrap it up in this segment. We'll be back. We have a lot more happening this morning. Remember, stay tuned in. This is Good Morning Huntsville. All right, well, there we go. Back at it. Hey, there we go. I had my audio turned off. We self-produce here on the show. So
Yes.
Great to catch up with Laura. It was funny because I was joking around, and it really wasn't joking. I said, we always have a friend, Jerica from Fargo, that joined, and there she was. She joined us this morning. So, Jerica, you can purchase the golf balls.
There you go, and you may win.
You may win. So you never know. You don't have to be here in Huntsville to be a part of that. So
you don't.
Great to catch up with Laura and just hear all the great things happening at the Chamber. I mean, they do 4 big events a year, and it just seems like it's, they just wrapped up Diva Night. Now here they go with the Shot in the Dark, and then there are 2 more coming up after that.
Right. Shot in the Dark, like I said earlier, it's a really neat golf tournament. I'm not a golf person. I don't think I've ever held a golf club in my life. But it is fun.
You never did chase me with one, I thought, back in the day? I thought you were chasing me with a golf club one time.
I thought it was a baseball bat.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, maybe. I can swing a baseball bat, but not a golf club. But it is a great event. It takes a lot of work to put that on, and, I know that they seem to sell out every year, all the teams, and just watching the helicopter drop the balls and then the crazy people out there golfing at night, that just makes it even more fun to take a ride out and watch them, with the glow sticks. Some of them decorate their little carts up with all the glow sticks and stuff. So it's a neat event.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Laura invited me out this year, and if I can get out there, I definitely will, because I want to do some coverage of the event. We'll be posting an article later today, by the way, on HelloHuntsvilleTX.com, so make sure that you look out for that. And if you haven't already subscribed to our newsletter, go to HelloHuntsvilleTX.com, scroll down at the very bottom, or it'll be a pop-up there if you haven't been to the website in a while. Just fill in your email address. We don't sell it to anybody. Deanna asked, she goes, hey, I want to buy all your email addresses. I said, Deanna, I'm not going to sell them to you. And so we will not sell your information. Sorry, Deanna. But she offered me $15. She offered me $15. I mean, $15
that's
is $15.
a lot of money.
It is this day and age. So anyways, we promise we're not going to sell your information. Robbie Diamond's joining in and saying, what's cracking, man? Well, good to hear from you, Robbie, as well. That's our good friend Robin Logan's brother. So good to hear from you this morning, Robbie. Always great to see you on the stream. And want to remind you, too, we bring you this show every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It seems like we just keep going, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's hard to believe you're already at episode 26.
Yeah, and you've been on several of these already with us, Deanna.
This is my third time to come sit in your chair.
Yeah, so keep it. That chair starts to get a little bit cold. No offense to anybody else, but it starts to get a little bit cool, and so we got to warm it back up again.
Yeah.
So it's good to have.
I
you
thought
in here.
you were telling everybody earlier, hashtag Good Morning, hashtag Hello Huntsville, and for maybe a double entry into the pot, hashtag Deanna Best Co-Host Ever.
Oh, yeah, hashtag Deanna Best Co-Host Ever. Do that.
I think that's a great hashtag.
Yeah, and if you do that, I may give away 2 of these gift certificates. So, again, I didn't see any of those come through. We do have a lot of folks joining us, but if you're going back watching this after the episode, you can still put in those hashtags there for a chance to win. We do have Color Bar gift certificates that we are giving away this week, so make sure that you comment. We will be giving those away throughout the week. Again, all you got to do, just put a comment below, hashtag Hello Huntsville, hashtag Visit Huntsville, whatever's on your heart. Our software will pick that up, and make sure to like and share this broadcast as well. Deanna, thanks for sitting in with us. I did want to give you an opportunity, as always, Peyton Irwin Foundation. What do you guys here after the big event? What are you up to?
Well, it is the end of school year, so we just got through going through several applications for scholarships. I don't know if I've told y'all in the past, in order to apply for a scholarship, you have to present some form of advertising material that we can use to help educate others on the danger of texting and driving. We had submissions, some beautiful artwork that was submitted, videos, all kinds of things, and it's just overwhelming. We were able to select 9 scholarship winners this year.
9? My goodness, wow.
Trinity, Madisonville, Huntsville, and Alpha Omega all submitted applications, and that was really another overwhelming thing that we got them from all the school districts, and we're going to be giving away $8,500 in scholarship this year.
That is great. You know what? We'll get another Deanna Irwin high five on that one. There you go. So we're celebrating the national championship all day today from 2 years ago. Now we're celebrating scholarships.
There you go.
Can't get any better than that.
No, I love to be able to give back.
Absolutely. Well, Deanna Irwin joining us here as our guest co-host for Jason Thompson, a Guardian Defense. Again, we couldn't bring you this show without our Foundation 5 sponsors. Very gracious to Jason Thompson. Please visit their website, guardiandefensellc.com. You can take LTC classes. Maybe you're nervous around firearms and you said, I just don't want to be nervous around them anymore, because it is a tool to protect your family and those around you. Jason is going to guide you through the entire process. He'll do it with care and compassion. Nothing to be worried about. Just go to guardiandefensellc.com. You can sign up for those LTC classes. He also has a very safe and secure environment, too, in his gun range. And so it's a very important venue for those of you that are interested. Again, go to that website, guardiandefensellc.com.
Me as a bystander in the community, I personally feel better if you're going to have a gun, that you've had some education on that gun, how to use it, how to carry it, when to have it, when not to have it, what can you do with it, what can't you do with it. And so, thank you for having a place like that people can go to and become educated on handling the gun. I grew up around guns. My dad was a hunter. I was in the deer stand with him, many, many times. He always called me his good luck charm because most of the time on the way to the deer stand, he would find the deer. We didn't even have to make it to the deer stand. So, but you know, I've always been around guns. He's always taught me safety, and it's just very, very important. So.
Yep. So there you go. Deanna's telling it for you. Hey, it's National Do Something Good for Your Neighbor today. So why don't you go next door? Jack was just talking about how nice his neighbors were. You know what? Go knock on your neighbor's door today and tell him you haven't forgotten about him if you haven't talked to him in 10 years. How about that? Go over there and just tell him hello this morning. So it's National Do Something Good for Your Neighbor. It's National Check Your Wipers Day. I'm not talking about wipies for your baby. I'm talking about wipers for your windshield. So not check your wipies day, but check your wipers.
Your wipers on your windshield. The wipers on the back go swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. So if yours are going too swoosh, swoosh, you might need new ones.
It's National Piercing Day. Deanna was going to come in and get like 30 of them in her ear, but we decided not to.
I did good to get the little 4 that I have.
Yeah, the 5 that I've got in my nostril there, you know, that was painful enough, Deanna.
Right.
It's National Mimosa Day. I forgot to bring those this morning.
You should have had that for me this morning. An orange juice with a little bit of champagne would have been a nice treat.
National Love a Tree Day, you know, so there you go. Go outside in your yard. We got beautiful trees here. Go outside and just love on your tree today. If we see people hugging trees today, we know what it is. It's National Love Your Tree Day.
We have quite a few tree huggers around in our town.
It's
nothing wrong with it.
No, that's all right. I love my tree. You know, I don't have one tree on my property, even though we're in Elkins and everyone else does. So today, I'm going to go love on a tree. Maybe I'm going to get a magnolia tree for Bridget.
Maybe you need to plant a tree so you can love on it every year.
That's right. There you go. Love a Tree Day. It's also National Barbecue Day, National Sea Monkey Day, and National Classic Movie Day.
Oh, that would be a good day.
There you go.
But it's National Sea Monkey Day.
Yeah, I have no idea. Monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey see, monkey do, yeah.
I guess so, Deanna. There you go. Well, hey, friends, it's been a fun one here today. Thanks for everybody for joining us. Deanna, always great to be just blessed by your presence. It's always so great to have you in here.
It's fun to be here.
We'll step aside and wrap it up, and then when we come back tomorrow, guess who we're going to have? We're going to have Angela Valish of FCA talking to us, and also Robin Logan. She'll be representing Tomorrow's Promise. Great show lined up tomorrow. Make sure you join us. We'll be back bright and early right here for another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. Till then, as I end every broadcast reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, Huntsville. God bless. We'll see you later.
Good morning.
Have a great one.